We are going to try and give verdict on the three debates that were there. The gubernatorial for Nairobi, the running mate, and the presidential. In my view, in my humble view, the gubernatorial won and the presidential lost. Running mate inakuja hapo katikati. I don't know why the idea of somebody's identity should come up during such a debate. We had very little time. Now trying to find out the true identity of a candidate should have been left to the statutory bodies. And even trying to address the issues of his or her academics should have been handled by competent and compellant statutory bodies. We wasted time and trying to tell one candidate that is not a Luhya and is a Kalenjin indirectly. I don't think he was contesting to be the governor for Kakamega. And even if he was contesting to be a candidate for Kakamega, I don't think as a Kalenjin he can be stopped. Or if it has to be defined, some Luhya tribes are associated with neighboring tribes. For example, Marach are associated with the Luo. Tiriki and Tachoni are associated with the Kalenjins. Wanga, Nabongo is believed to be a sort of a Kabaka. So when Wanga wants something, but then again, this is Nairobi. So I don't know why such a debate could come up. I find that both Igathe and Sakaja identified the problems facing Nairobi. For the running mate and the presidential candidate, I did not see them identifying problems of Kenya. And if they did, maybe they did a very little, and that is where a lot of time should have been spent. They should have spent a lot of time identifying the problems that their officers are going to handle. And then from there, they should know how to come up with solutions. I understand when it comes to personal attack. Personal attacks are meant to test somebody's temperamentalship, because as a commander-in-chief, it is very relevant there. But mostly, why dwell a lot of time on such issues? I think such issues should have very little time. I propose that future elections, 2027 and onwards, we spend more time in such debates than spending more times in stadiums. Stadiums are very expensive. Very few candidates, though. I mean, all candidates, they hire crowds. They do what, and when such meetings are there, nothing of interest is talked there. It is only one side says yule mwizi, the other side says yule mzee wa vitendawili. Nothing of interest is discussed. If we could have a situation where most of the time is spent in studios really looking into issues, I would suggest that we have 10 times time allocated, and then meetings outside there be reduced to 10%. I propose that TV stations that are seen, whether directors or even employees. I know of 2 stations that I'll not mention that went out to campaign for one candidate, a certain candidate, presidential candidate. I think TV stations should be treated like Caesar's wife. It doesn't matter whether the owners or even the presenters, anybody in that station who openly uses airtime that is allocated by CCK to campaign for a particular candidate, that TV station should be allowed. By then, it is their constitutional right. What the Constitution says is this: it is not wrong for them to show sides, but they should show and declare openly that we are supporting this candidate, and when we have presidential or even gubernatorial campaigns, they should not participate. We have the CNN. CNN openly campaigned for my candidate, Joe Biden. That is okay. Come up with your station, say we are supporting so and so, and when other stations are organizing or debating who have not declared the side they are in, then you should be out. Sometimes it is good to help somebody. This thing about having 2 types of debaters, the first one, I don't know, they are 5% or less. Then the second, the Americans used this because you could find that during the party nominations, you have about 10 or so. But then we had 4 candidates. What was wrong in placing all the 4 together? Because I can't recall the number of candidates who had shown interest, but there are those who didn't make it. If all of them would have made it, and there were so many, Kina Mwangi Wairia, Kina Ruben Kigathe, and others whom I've forgotten their names, if they would have made it to the debate, then that is when we should. But 4. Lastly, I would suggest that we have regional debates. For a lack of a better example, in Luo Nyanza we have Siaya, Kisumu, Homa Bay, and Migori. And we have 2 Luo stations. I do not know whether regionally in Kisumu and those areas there are other stations. But we have 2 national Luo stations. That is Lolwe TV and Ramogi TV. Why can't they take it the last 3 months in the next election that they interview, and I mean they do such programs to the candidates for both senatorial and gubernatorial in those. Monday, they handle Siaya. Tuesday, they handle Kisumu. Wednesday, so that the candidates, instead of hiring and going around making noise, these candidates should just sit in the TV station. The first week they handle different topics, so that between the time of nomination to the time of elections, we have covered a lot of problems that are to do with that county. I think that is my 5-cent idea. Thank you.